G'day again, good people. Well, before we left Quilpie, we took a trip over 5 or 6 days to Cameron Corner. And Cameron Corner is the only place in Australia that I can think of that has 3 states meeting. So there's South Australia, New South Wales and Queensland all meet up in a corner, and it's probably the most recognised state marker in Australia.
This is our camp. We're on the Cooper's Creek, coming up to sunrise. Kettle's on, morning coffee. Sun coming up over the creek. Water's flowing. Birds are carrying on. Absolutely beautiful spot just near the dig tree outside of Inaminka.
So obviously some people are not as keen as others to get up out of bed. But this was quite a lovely campsite, and this is a great way to camp, without the van, without a tent, just under the awning. So Inaminka is a wonderful landscape, but it's famous for Burke and Wills, who came here. They missed their support party by 9 hours. The support party had actually waited for them for an extra month, I think, and then they missed them by 9 hours, and some of them died there. I'm not too sure if all of them died there, but the dig tree was marked by their support party as where they buried supplies under a tree. So this is all to do with Burke and Wills, who are great Australian explorers from the 19th century, when this country was not known to the white settlers, really. You can see there, that's the dig sign from the support crew.
On the old Streslecki track, going to Cameron's Corner today.
This is the pub at Cameron Corner, both inside and outside. Obviously you can donate a hat, and this is the marker for Cameron Corner, which shows South Australia, Queensland and New South Wales. This is Cameron Corner. The marker post. I'm in South Australia. Now I'm in Queensland. And now I'm in New South Wales. Belinda's in Queensland. Now she's in South Australia. Cameron Corner. Outback Australia.
Queensland.
So this is the fence between Queensland and South Australia. South Australians put it here to keep Queenslanders out. I don't think it's worked, but it was a good effort.
It was a rapid fence.
Okay.
Linda thinks it might have been a rabbit for a fence, but you know, I'm sure it was just to keep the Queenslanders out.
And then that became the dingo.
This is a statue of a bandicoot, which is now extinct, known locally as Telpero, made of wire, and yeah, it's about 2.5 metres high. Big bandicoot.
And this is Tibooburra, a place that we were supposed to come to a couple of years ago, but COVID meant we couldn't get across the border, and then it got flooded. So the rivers, creeks were up and the roads were closed, so we couldn't get here. But it's a nice, neat little town. It's got quite a few attractions. Again, statues and things in the main street, a couple of good pubs and some accommodation and what have you. So we spent a few days here just tootling around and having a look at what there is to have a look at. Some nice old buildings. It's a very old town. And Charles Sturt was another explorer who came through this area and was marooned here really by drought. They camped by a waterhole not far from here, Milparinka, and they buried one of their members, James Poole, at that area as well. Milparinka is one of those tiny little towns that has tried to pull itself up by the bootstraps, and they've rebuilt some of these old buildings. They've got a little caravan park and stuff there, and it is really quite a pleasant place to visit. Sturt had his men build a cairn on the top of what he called Mount Poole, and this is what they did. He thought it would keep them busy. I would have told him what to do with these stones.
I love a sunburnt country, land of sweeping plains, of rugged mountain ranges, of droughts and flooding rains. We're on the top of Mount Poole, out of Tibooburra, Milparinka. God, this is beautiful country.
Wampagate Road on the way to Thargomindah and Yower. Sandy driving from New South Wales into Queensland. Woo woo! This is Wampa Gate Road on the Queensland side. Just a small track.
Bit of water.
So we're still on the way to Thargomindah. And this is the Tikalara Road, or as Bulu River track. It's got its ups and downs. It's got quite narrow in places.
So the Bulu River is quite interesting in that it doesn't actually go anywhere. It drains into some swamps and then just dissipates into the desert. Not like most creeks around here, which actually flow into Lake Eyre.
So this is the Bulu River. We are several hundred kilometres south of Quilpie, about 60 or 70 k's southwest of Thargomindah. And the river is just ripping through here. There's a heap of wood swallows that just disappeared, and they're building nests under the bridge. The rivers, you can see why the early explorers would have been beguiled by this, all this feed, all this water, and some big timber. Beautiful little spot. Bulu River, southwest Queensland. Walking a puddle. It's obviously slippery, but not very deep.
So we came to Yowa, another tiny little town in southwest Queensland, which was a mining place. Very few people live here, not too sure, 20 maybe. But the local sports club once a week puts on a feed, and so they raise money that way, and we went along, and tell you what, some of the best fish and chips I have ever eaten. Absolutely, bar none. It was really good. And Yowa's got hot springs and quite a few little things to see, little museums and gemstones and that sort of thing. That's the hot artesian bore, comes out at about 45 degrees. And this is the Tombpine pub. This was recently renovated and reopened with great fanfare. It's stuck in the middle of nowhere, but they've done a beautiful job with slab tables and what have you. So this is well worth a trip to have a look at as well. And that's the end of this video. We went back to Quilpie. We'll see you on the next one. Bye now.